Third, we're moving now into the full board. Meeting is called to order at 6:03. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Okay, clerk, could you please call the roll?
Yes, trustee Morning.
Yep.
Trustee Martin. Absent. Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Frazier.
Here.
Trustee Treasurer Bart.
Here.
Clerk is present. Supervisor.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
Never mind. Okay. We're good. Great. Okay, so executive summary then. Thank you, Chris. We're not looking at that one. I was a little bit flustered. I'm sorry. Consent agenda, which was what I was just saying. I was just working on, consists of our closed session meeting minutes, it's basically, where we all agree on what we're going to vote on and that everything's all good and happy, which includes our paying our bills, like electric, but it also includes our firefighter contract, which is on the consent agenda for a vote today. New business includes a discussion on a resolution 2022, the amended and the 2023 proposed general fund budget. This is the biggest act of this board every year. The 2022 amended and the 2023 proposed special revenue funds will be discussed, and the proposed water and sewer budget will be discussed along with a new contract for Jason Locke. He's going to be our parks director. In the discussion on a second reading makes an ordinance, which is a law, to change a residence in the Sumter Road district over to a local business. We're also going to have a discussion on the Van Buren Township Iron Bell Trail, Section H, that's over there by Riggs Park. And we're going to have a notice of intent resolution for capital improvement bonds to purchase a new community center.
Supervisor, shouldn't 7 be moved? Yes, since there's going to be a discussion on that, I'm thinking that.
Actually, they just walked in and they said, we're good. The MOU's,
We're good.
the MOU's good, right?
We are gonna type it up, yes,
Okay.
and they're gonna sign. We're actually just gonna do a TA, not a MOU.
That's good. So I'm okay. Does everybody agree to leave it as it is? Okay. Moving forward, then I'm going to call for.
I make a motion.
Thank you.
The agenda as presented.
Support.
Mr. Ray, Frazier. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Next item is consent agenda. I think we're. Mr. Boyd, Mr. Boyd,
That we set the following consent agenda. Number one, work study minute, meeting minutes of October 18th. Closed session meeting minutes of October 18th. Board meeting minutes of October 18th. Prepaid list of October 20th and October 27th. Voucher list of November 1st. All of 2022. Along with the approval of the 2022 and 2025 MASF contract.
Thank you.
Support.
Who said that?
Miller.
All right, I got a motion, I've got support, it's consent, so it's not discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next item is a public hearing. We have none today. Correspondence, announcements, and presentations. I have one announcement. We need volunteers. Meals on Wheels, couple hours once a week or twice a week. We need them for a little bit for Forgotten Harvest, but we really need for Meals on Wheels. We've got a car, drive around, drop off 10 or 15 meals to the sweet little ladies. That would be really nice. I also want to bring up the River of Life Assembly of God is doing a Veteran Resource event. They do it once a year, November 14th. And it's over here, excuse me, it's on 16650 in Sumter Road. And, they do a great job. I urge everybody to go out and does anybody else have any announcements? I think you do.
Okay, as I think everyone knows, we will be having a midterm elections Tuesday, November 8th. Polls open at 7 a.m., close at 8 p.m. Due to some of the reconstruction of the township hall, precincts that are normally in the gymnasium will be in the boardroom and Otisville shelter. Those will be what, precinct 1 and 2? Precinct 1, I believe, were in the boardroom, precinct 2, the Otisville shelter. We have sent out approximately 6,400 absentee ballots.
Wow.
We received 56% back of those, which is probably about 3,400. We kind of, some, like guessing it right now based on where we were.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
close
right.
today. Not close?
Yeah.
Anyone listening, please bring your ballot in. It don't matter whether you bring it in now or you bring it in the day before, or you bring it on election day. Still not, it's not gonna be counted until absentee counting will start counting on election day. So, waiting until the last day don't change anything, any procedure regarding absentee voting. We don't do it any different. We still get put in the bin associated with your precinct. So, but it helps us if you bring them in earlier because we get caught up on a day on election day trying to do the day operation of the election. And trying to check in $2,000 on election day, that is not a good thing. So if you're listening to my voice, please bring your ballot. If you have an absentee ballot away on your table, please bring them in between now and Monday, please. So we can get a process in order to start counting, first thing, Tuesday morning. And
Can they bring them in this weekend as well? Are you-
also, I'm sorry, yeah, this weekend, I forgot.
And Monday.
You can't, you can bring the ballot in, ballots can be turned in until 8 p.m. on election day. We'd rather get them early so we can process them early. The quicker we get them, the quicker we can get the absentee counting board finished. Okay, so we give them that ballots on election day, by batches. So we can only give them the ballots that after they come in, they have to continue to count. So when you see absentee counting boards being run until late night, some of that has to do with people bringing in late ballots because we can't stop until the ballots are absentee ballots are counted. So that delays all the work that has to be done after they finish counting the ballots, and we have to do all the paperwork, all the tapes have to be signed, all the paperwork that procedure that goes along with absentee counting board. It's not a quick procedure. It's a tedious job, but we have staff that does well. We will be open Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. for absentee voting also. Okay, Michigan. Okay, yeah. Monday, Township Hall will be closing. The doors to the front doors stay open until 4 p.m. Of course, because that's the last time we can accept the absentee ballot. So the gate to treasurer, planning and department and supervisor office will be closed. So we can set up that area, which will be closed off for absentee counting board. And this is because of the lack of space that we have getting ready to build the recreation center, which is the east side of the building has been shut off and go through construction. So we appreciate the foresight and dealing with us during this time, but we have limited space. Elections must go on. So we're gonna utilize all the space we have left to run elections. So,
The employees will still be here. We're doing the setup, so.
there, one more thing on the way, we get a lot of these calls, a lot of asks every day. There's no such thing as early voting in Michigan as we speak as of today. Now, that initiative is on the ballot, along with Proposition 2. This is all edited to that language, along with a lot of other language. Some people like, some people don't like. I can say as a clerk, personally, I don't like it, but we wasn't asked. So we do the work in Michigan, the clerks run the election, but the clerks wasn't asked. It's from the period, but it do entail 9 days of early voting. 9 days of early voting is gonna tell you it's gonna cause some heartache for some communities that can't afford it. One thing, I'm lucky to have a board that they're supportive of me. And when it passes, I'm sure they're gonna find me that I can do 9 days of early day voting. But one thing you have to be mindful of, 9 days of early voting means that we're gonna set up a precinct here in the township, and you'll be able to walk in and put your ballot in the tabulator 9 days before election day. Now, if you change your mind or somebody, a candidate or a group says something that say, oh, well, I didn't know that. Oh, I want to spoil my ballot. You can't do it. Absentee voting, you can spoil your ballot on the election day. You can walk in and say, I got information that I wasn't aware of. I would like to spoil my ballot. We have a form that you fill out. You can spoil your ballot. You vote. Once you vote in the tabulator, it's done deal. There's no spoiling. And a lot of people saying they want to see the ballot go through the tabulator, but once it goes through there, that's it. And even at the polls, most people, the workers at the polls, most times you hear them, they ask you, do you want to accept the ballot as it is? Most people don't want, whether it's something incorrect or not, they don't want to go back to the booth and say, yeah, I want to accept. The button on the ballot that you can push if they accept the ballot as is. That means you might have missed the category, you might have missed a candidate, but you don't want to go back to the booth and correct it. So you hit accept and the ballot is cast based on what you voted on. A lot of that stuff is going to be eliminated. Just giving a head, this information that may not be known. The one-time ballot application. A lot of people saying dead people voting. Well, if that passes, there's going to be a lot of dead people voting. Because if I send you an application one time and you fill it out, I'm not the election police. I don't know whether you move until all that goes through the state register, the PDF. I don't know if you died. I don't know if you passed away, but we're going to send you a ballot to the address. Till somebody tell us not to. It's just some things that's there that you need to read the proposition, be careful, make sure you're aware of what you read, and before you vote, I know when you want to vote. Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to make any announcements or presentations? All right, next time would be public comment. Is anybody from the, oh, I'm sorry, my gosh, I'm sorry, turn this anyway.
I've been up here so long, I'm part of the podium. It's a little bit loud, or I'm a little bit loud. Last, on the 22nd, I don't know how to turn this thing down.
Oh, pumpkins.
Pumpkins, couple pumpkins. On the 22nd, we had our candy loop. It was the best candy loop we've ever had. We had fantastic weather. We had a fantastic turnout. And so I have a thank you to the businesses, organizations, and of course, our elected officials who came out to make it such a great event. We had our best one ever. We had 1,500 people attend Candy Loop. So to give you a little bit of background, normally we get a lot of people to show up right at the beginning and it tapers off. It didn't taper until we were done and out of candy. As always, we're so grateful to our community partners who make Candy Loop not only a pleasure to run, but also an overwhelming success. We could never run this event without the generous support and a mountain of candy provided by the following businesses, organizations, and elected officials: Advance America, Bell Nutrition, Belleville First United Methodist Church, Belleville Wrestling Club, Blooms and Balloons, who came out, passed out candy before they even opened their business. They are now currently open. Boy Scout and Venture Crew number 231, candidate for State Senate Representative Darren Camilleri, candidate for State Representative Trustee Reggie Miller, Sharshi Beauty Supply, Coldwell Banker, Dr. Angie's Tutoring and Learning Resource Center, Friends of Michigan Animals Rescue, Keystone Academy, Kiwanis, K Springer Media Management, May Ann Photography, who took free photos at the event, Milton's Pharmacy, Redemption Bible Church, Sassy Snacks and Shakes, Thrifts and Gifts, Van Buren Buildings and Grounds Department, Police and Fire Departments, Parks Department, Van Buren Supervisor Kevin McNamara, Van Buren Trustee Kevin Martin, the VFW, Willis Insurance, and Wolverine Trucking. And of course, we thank our entire board for the funding and the resources in order to put these amazing events on for our public. I also have a thank you going out to our student volunteers who spent their Saturday to set up and assist our department in running Candy Loop. Trinity Young, Avery Carcone, Owen Kernsmith, Lily Swan, Mia Crotus, and Ryan Zangline. And I know many of you in the room, if you've grown up with a parent that's been in public service, you know you volunteered a lot too. She did a great job. And then we have another event. It's our last event for Parks and Rec for this season. It's taking place this Saturday, November 5th at the Van Buren Park Sled Hill. This is your chance, everybody. If you've got leftover pumpkins at home, bring them to the pumpkin rollout. So we say it's our pumpkin, I lost audio. Can you hear me? I'm loud. Our pumpkin rollout Saturday, November 5th from 10 a.m. until noon. So bring your leftover pumpkins. I have a pumpkin check-in station where we can make sure that we've taken our candles out and anything that shouldn't be in there. The kiddies are going to go up the hill, and by kitty, I mean anyone who can make it up that hill. We're going to roll those pumpkins down. So we're just going to have a blast. Detroit Mini Donuts is going to be on hand selling. And I don't even want to say it out loud because I want some right now. Hot, fresh donuts. They're going to make them. They're going to sell them. They're going to be fantastic. So bring your pumpkins out. If you're someone that maybe has livestock at home, maybe you like to go hunting and you're like, hey, you know what? I could use some leftover pumpkins. Well, there's going to be a lot left over at that bottom of the hill. So join us Saturday from 10 to noon. Hope you come out. We're going to have a great time. And I can't believe it. I shouldn't say it out loud, but we're going to have great weather.
All right.
So thank you.
Forward to that.
That'll be fun.
We're gonna get a pumpkin chunking machine.
We had done that before, yeah.
All right. Does anybody else from the public, is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak? Okay. Anybody from the board? Moving on then, unfinished business, we have no new business. Discussion on to consider the amendment of the proposed budget. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Report, and Frazier. Okay. Ian Downer. This is the salary schedule. I'm sorry.
Salary schedule in the general
You know what?
fund.
You know what? We'll take the whole budget together.
Well-
For discussion purposes, and we'll run it down.
Sure. Yeah, for discussion purposes, yep, this will be the salary schedule, general fund, our special revenues, and our water and sewer. They'll all be approved on separate resolutions, but good evening, good evening, board. We held our mandated public hearing last week. We had our budget review meeting in August. Most of the budget is largely unchanged from that meeting. We have been working with the directors to get our projections a little bit more in line with the months passing, but the budget itself is, for the most part, largely unchanged. You've been able to review each of the department's budgets. We have most of our department directors here, so if there's any particular questions for them, we'd be happy to take them. Any of our projects or expenditures that are not used by the end of the year will revert to the general fund. And I'll just, recognize we've had some turnover during the year and welcome some new directors. Director Lawrence, Director Luck is his first full year public services director, and it's just been a pleasure working with all these directors, and I think we got a very good team that we built here. So
Trustee Miller.
For clarification, we're talking about all three, correct? The proposed general fund,
course.
Both special revenue and water and sewer, all at once?
Actually, with this, I'd like to discuss them all at once, I guess,
Hmm.
just because they're all tied together. At least
Okay,
the
then I'd like
two
to
are.
amend my motion to include all three. Because initially, I only made. a
Yes, I
motion
did.
out of one,
Yes, you
so
did.
I will amend that to include the general fund, special revenue, and the water and sewer budget. Support.
Okay, I'm not gonna stop that. And I'm not gonna stop that only for one reason. We had a meeting in August that lasted 2 or 3 days. We had meetings before that meeting. We had meetings one-on-one regarding budgets that lasted 3 or 4 hours, each one of you singly with me. We've had meetings August, September, October, and now this thing. I'm budgeted out. So I mean, I don't know what else we can tell the public except for that public safety is obviously fully manned up now. For the first time ever, we're close to, the police are got some hiring coming in, so we're finally gonna get a budget for the first time. Hopefully that's not gonna be eaten alive by overtime. Fire has got slated in 3 additional full-time firefighters coming in next year. And if we get our grant, hopefully we'll get up to 6 new full-time firefighters. We've got them flatlined out on budgets. We brought our police and fire up to the standards of what the people in our area are making in police and fire. Ironically, when we brought them up, it hurt. And then all those people that we brought them up to just gave them all big raises. But we're still in a lot better position than we were. People are being paid fairly. So I guess if I'm trying to think of any other of the things, I can go right through them. Public services with Larry, with what we're gonna do. We've got quite a few projects. Mostly though, we're into a maintenance mode next year, although we're gonna be working our way through that. We're gonna bring you guys up in a minute if we need to. Water and sewer, we have a 0% increase stated for the 2nd year in a row. That can't continue because we are now actually going from 16 million to 18 million dollars in reserves. Our job is not to bank money and become rich. Our job is to provide services with that money. So we've got to get out there and start doing some of these water mains. Unfortunately, with COVID, we couldn't get any ductile iron pipe. I could go through every single solitary department, but I guess we probably should leave.
It can be at any point, it is a living budget, so
It is,
things come up.
yeah, so, I don't know, what else would you like to talk about?
No, we've got big projects going on. It's been a very active year. And as trustee Miller pointed out, the moment we approve it, it is a living budget, and anything that comes that needs to be addressed, we'll be able to address that following meetings.
Yeah,
You can thank us for being so wonderful.
you guys are wonderful. It's been a spectacular year. It really has.
Just saying.
I mean, at the end of the year, we'll go through all the things that we did this year. You guys are, I can't even believe how many we did. I'm having meetings now with department directors, and I just called in water and sewer to go through the 20 projects that we had this year and what we're planning on trying to do next year. DPS, I don't even want to bring them in because it's going to be an all-day thing to go over all the projects they did this year, and the projects are seriously down. But the community services is the one that, they're the ones that are now working as fast as, they're the frog in the blender. Which is what I call this, it's everybody's got to be a frog in the blender now, and right now that's community services. They've got the community center, they've got Riggs Park, they've got the Iron Belt Trail, they've got French Landing Park, they've got the pavilions are now been demoed over there at Van Buren Park. There's more, but I'm not sure what it
We've
is.
got great staff who have done a great job.
Yeah, so.
We all work hard together. So.
And the county and the state, and the federal government have been wonderful in helping us to afford all this, and things are doing really well, I guess.
All right,
And all our residents are gonna benefit from what we've done.
Yeah, we're starting to, DDA starting to concentrate on sidewalks and widening Belleville Road. We're starting to get some traction there. Let's hope to keep that moving. Maybe take an area. Any questions? No? Does anybody have, I'll go through the departments. I've got, planning. Does anybody want to speak with planning on this? I've got water and sewer. Does anybody want to speak with water and sewer? I've got police and fire. I've got DPS, public services. I've got community services. Hearing none and no questions. All in favor of line items 1, 2, 3, and 4, which represent the salary schedule of the 2022-2023 budgets.
not one. Not one.
This is
Not one.
20,
1, 2,
1, 2, and 3, excuse me. And the special revenue funds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I don't know how else to do that after doing the budget 7 times in the last 3 months. I'm not sure what else we can ask. You are hereby ordered to take a couple weeks off. Get out of here. Discussion, number 3, discussion on to consider approval of resolution 22-26. Number 4.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Thanks.
Jason Fox personal service agreement and authorize supervisor McNamara and clerk to execute the agreement.
All right.
Good evening, board. I guess this isn't on, so I have to speak up. Good evening, board. Thank you for having us this afternoon or this evening. We are here before you today to consider the personal service agreement for our future Director of Parks, Jason Locke. As you've seen in the his resume and his cover letter, he has served as the step-up supervisor with the City of Allen Park of the Department of Public Services. He has over 23 years of local government expertise in forestry, landscaping, and heavy-duty equipment operations. He also has experience in management of municipal services. Jason has interviewed with us not once, but twice. And I will say I sat in on the first interview. We were very impressed with him. And I am actually very excited that he was able to see that we reposted the position, and he actually still wanted to try again and come back to Van Buren Township for a second interview. So with that, I will have Director Renaud come up and say a few words for him. It doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, board. There's not a lot of opportunities I get to be up here not asking for money, so I'm just gonna enjoy this moment for a second. But so, right? Jason not only comes to us with a wealth of municipal knowledge and experience background working alongside a union, but he has a strong, motivated drive to problem solve, build a team, and serve our community. He has an inquisitive nature and a legitimate hunger for learning new things that will truly be the driving force for implementing the township's vision for our parks. He made sure to do his research on our park system and community before coming to interview with us, and he already has so many great ideas that will make him an absolute asset to our organization. And we could not be more excited to have Jason joining our community services team. Thank you.
And with that, I ask the board to approve his personal service agreement and authorize Supervisor McNamara and Clerk Wright to execute his agreement.
Does anybody wish to have any questions?
I just want to say we're lucky to have such a great candidate, and we look forward to having a problem solver and a free thinker on our team.
Well, thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would.
You did not bring a piece of paper. Problem solving.
Yeah. Oh, it's a guideline, but First, I'd like to thank you all for welcoming me into the Van Buren community. I'd like to thank Director Sumter, Director Renaud, Director Zengland. Forgive me, Tammy, forgot your official.
Don't worry.
Well, I know her, not.
Oh,
I forgot her official title.
Executive, Deputy Director.
Executive Director.
Almost.
I want to thank them for assisting me in the process of becoming a member of the department. I'm very excited for this opportunity. I've seen all the projects that are being undertaken in this community, especially in the parks, and I think it's a very exciting time to be joining this. I look forward to getting started. I'm very excited to be here today and in the future, and I promise that I will do everything I can to serve the citizens of this community to the best of my abilities. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We're excited to have you. Got great references. That employers love you.
When do you start?
The 14th.
Could you come on and shake our hands? Because that's what
Yes.
we like to do. Before you start going into the bed. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. You want to introduce your friend out there?
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
What's your name?
My name is Jody. I am Jason's wife. We've been happily married for the last 17 years. And I cannot thank you enough for this opportunity. He's a wonderful candidate, and I think this is going to be a really good fit for him and for your community as well. So
She
very
actually,
excited.
on our anniversary, we actually did a tour of all the parks in preparation for one of my interviews. So we
Sparks of family.
enjoyed it all. We went out, walked to the parks and everything. So.
It was wonderful.
She's a keeper.
Oh, yeah.
So was he.
Well, thank you. All right, so I have a motion and I have a second. I don't believe I have a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We have a discussion to consider a second reading. Who would like to do a second reading?
I can.
Norman?
Yes, to consider approval of the second reading of ordinance 10-18-22 prime 1 to rezone 116 Sumter Road from the local business district to Sumter Road mixed use district.
This is fun. Director.
Yeah, thank you, Board. As you heard, this is the second reading. So as mentioned previously, this is the site of a house that was built in 1930. It's a 900 square foot house. It's been zoned commercially since as long as our zoning map records show. And it had been used commercially after having been a house for a while. So in not being able to revert back to the residential zoning, the newly adopted Sumter Road Mixed Use District is a good opportunity to get it in a zoning category that lets it be used for a variety of purposes. And the most recent purchaser of the property has made some significant improvements to the building for purposes of selling it as a home. So the new Sumter Road Mixed Use District is an ideal zoning district for that use and many other uses. So I support the second reading and the adoption of this rezoning.
Does anybody like to make any comments? This is the first attempt at the Sumter Road outside rezoning, and a business that couldn't sell there is one thing, but a house, every house sells in this town, so I'm sure they'll get top dollar for it too. Hearing no further. Go ahead.
My only comment would be is to thank Dan for all the work he did on this, along with the representative of our planners that helped him, and the planning commission that spent many hours reading over it, and
That includes you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're making a real difference. I think it's funny. No other questions? All right, this is a roll call vote, so second, Clerk Wright?
Trustee Frazier,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
trustee Gordon,
Yes.
trustee Martin is the absent. You want to say excuse? Treasurer Bud,
yes.
yes for me. Supervisor,
Yes.
motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 6, discussion on the consider approval of contract change order for our Iron Bell Trail out of Riggs Park. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion. To consider approval of the contract change order for an additional pathway through Briggs Park to Van Buren Township Islandville Trail Section E, project for Fury Construction LLC for an increase of 106,577 in fees.
Support.
Pointed. Okay, Deputy Director.
Good evening, Board. As you know, for the last few years, Van Buren Township has been working diligently on closing the 6.4-mile gap of the Iron Bell Trail that runs through our community. Currently, we have under construction our sections B and section H. As part of the approved 2022 Parks Capital Outlay budgeted projects, a trailhead was to be constructed in Riggs Park for $250,000. This included the pathway through the park, which is part of the Iron Bell Trail Section I. On September 6, 2022, the Board of Trustees awarded Iron Bell Trail Section H to Erie Construction LLC. In order to save on mobilization costs, as well as securing the same material costs, we are requesting the approval of a change order to the original Section H project in the amount of $106,577.50 to complete the pathway portion only of the trailhead project. The new additional scope of work requires all services necessary to install the work per the Iron Bell Trail Section H specifications. The remainder of the trailhead project will be completed as we finish the remaining sections of the Iron Bell Trail in the next few years. Staff is recommending the board approve the change order for the contract with Erie Construction LLC in the amount of $106,577.50. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Why the change order?
Pardon me?
The reason for the change order?
Originally it was just section H, and then we would do the next section next year, which where we'd have to pay another mobilization cost, and the cost of the materials would go up. So we thought in order to keep those costs down, we could just do a change order on the first section.
Your turn. And it'll be done this year, right?
Well, they're starting it. We're hoping most of it will be done this year. So.
Okay, Iron Bell Trail's going in. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes, thank you very much. All opposed? Motion passes, thank you. Sorry. All right, number 7.
Chair.
Yes, sir.
Number 7, I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of resolution 2022-29, notice of intent, resolution capital improvement bonds, and issue general obligation limited tax bond pursuit to Act 31, Public Act of Michigan, 2001, as amended, parentheses Act 34, and an area for principal amount not to exceed $7 million for the purpose of paying part of the cost for the construction of the community center.
Support with the
That's a
correction.
long motion.
Support with the correction of going to Act 34, not Act 31.
Okay.
That's what you want.
Said 31.
Excuse me. I'm gonna add a minute. Let's say Act 34. We're gonna get this right.
That's right.
Okay, I don't know who handles this, it's usually John and me, I guess. So we've asked to go out for bonding. We're asking for ability to bond up to $7 million. We don't know that we need it. We're only going to bond out what we need. But within this is sales and furniture and about $1 million or $1.5 million of contingencies. I can say that, Director Renault and Deputy Director Dory and myself and Dan Salmon and Clerk Wright went downtown today and spent 4 hours watching a commission meeting and answered a lot of questions. And at the end, the full commission did make recommendation to their full board to approve Van Buren Township for $4.5 million in grants.
Awesome.
So yes, that's great. So Thursday I'll be back down there just to watch it formally. Yes, hopefully they'll go through the paces and rubber stamp it before that. I'm sure they will. Okay, this was the last one. So, that means that we have $4.5 million there, we have another $3 million in ARPA. That's $7.5 million, we have $1 million from the DDA, we have $1 million from Civic Fund. That brings us to, I'm doing fast math, $9 million on that. So we need approximately $6.5 million worst case to finish the job. And this is going to allow us to go out and start doing that. The last thing I want to make comment on is that these bonds, we will probably pay a small surcharge for.
How small?
Well, we don't know.
Oh, I see, okay.
But about 0.25%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm talking, I think the difference is like $10,000 a year. The reason we are looking at this small surplus is that what we're trying to, we do not want to be stuck in a, I hate to use the word discount bond scenario, where you have to pay off the bonds over 20 years. We think that we're getting the worst rates that you can possibly get probably right now. We realize that we're in that boat right now. But if the rates go down in the next 2 or 3 years, for that small amount of money, we can pay them off and go get new ones at much lower rates, we hope. So, it is within our budget, and again, we got $10 million in grants on this, so we've done pretty darn good. Originally, we started off saying we could afford a $7 million project. It went to 16.5, but we're still under the $7 million.
When do we break ground?
We broke ground.
Well, I meant officially.
Officially, could they come up
And
and,
then-
director, I know the answer, but.
We have technically broken ground, but the official groundbreaking will occur after we get final approval from the Wayne County Commission. And then we'll coordinate dates with all of the important parties. So hopefully soon.
After next Thursday, we'll hear back from you.
Yes.
That's exciting. That's, a long time coming.
The grant does
Lot of work.
require
Mhm.
a groundbreaking ceremony. It requires signage.
I know. I think it's important to have that ceremony.
Thank you.
Okay, I would be remiss if I didn't make a statement on this. Like I said today at the Wayne County Commission meeting, I've been clerk, next month be 14 years. And, this is something that is really dear to my heart because I've been sitting on the Parks and Rec Commission committee for those 14 years. And I remember a few years back making a statement in one of the meetings, and I said, you don't ask for anything, you don't get anything. And because in previous meetings, we were used to having recreation committee meeting, and I was used to hearing the chairperson say, well, we don't have any money, and you're asking for anything, we're never gonna get it, so we don't have any money. I think most of us know who that is, but. So, once we changed scripts here, we made the notion that we're gonna start asking for stuff. And then we asked for the board to consider building a recreation center. We didn't know where the money was coming from at that point, but I have to give kudos not only to the board, but then have the foresight to be creative. So I have to give kudos to the guys in to write them. Kevin McNair, he's very diligent in saying that he's gonna get money. I had to give it to him. He said he's gonna get money. I was skeptical that he's gonna get money from Wayne County, but because I was down at the meeting today and you ever been to a commission meeting, it's like watching grass grow. But he goes there and he listens, he shake hands and butt heads and he got the money. I am ecstatic. I know the residents are, and I know we are as a board. It's time to do something that's I think that's gonna put us in the next level in regard to achieving that premier community. We keep saying we want to have a premier community. I think we're on track. We're doing stuff now that's putting us on the track to being a premier community. You know, next thing is, in the schools where they need to be. That's out of our control, but we can always help. But we are there, we have a board that works together great. I mean, we have, you know, great working relationship. We get things done. We have, you know, great financial, situation and, we're able to build a community center with the fund, with the money that we proposed in the beginning, which I think is great. So I'm down. I mean, I'm just, I'm ecstatic.
Right. All right, all set. All right, I got, a motion by Clerk Wright, it's supported by, Trustee Brunson. To allow us to go out to bound up to $7 million for the new community center. Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. Next items, reports, none. Public comment on non-agenda items, and anything for the public that wishes to speak on non-agenda items.
I don't see any, no participants in our public participation link.
Okay. Does the board want to make any comments?
Through the chair.
Yes.
I know that the math contract is on the consent agenda, so we don't usually talk about it, but just to make a comment that Nicole Sunter has worked her heart out, getting it typed and getting it in place, along with the help from our attorney, Sue Bartos, and we got to even give our fire chief a lot of credit, because he was right there saying, yep, nope, yep, nope. So it was just a great job. Their representatives, I think, and we've got a contract we can live with for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. It was Red Bull and coffee for about 4 days with them.
Great work.
Thank you. All right, anybody else, anybody from the board want to speak?
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if anyone else is going to be too interested in this, but I just wanted to announce that this coming Friday, I will be celebrating 27 years of being married to the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth.
Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Very much.
Well, my wife.
Which wife are you talking about?
Can I get a motion for adjournment? Swenson? Ms. Gertrude? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you.